The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to another GoldMine 101, our regular series of short presentations, giving you hints and tips for getting the most out of GoldMine CRM. And this morning, I'm going to cover the additional contacts feature of GoldMine. So if you're a B2B organization, you're dealing with organizations that will have more than one contact that you're working with, that you're dealing with, this is the session for you. Hello, my name is Tim Wilmot, and my company, Wizard Systems, we're a specialist CRM system supplier who helps small and mid-sized organizations improve their sales productivity, marketing, and customer service through the use of systems like GoldMine. This training session will be about 10 minutes or so in duration, and not meant to be an in-depth training session, just an overview of a key way of managing multiple contacts within an organization with GoldMine. And we do offer more extensive training options and guidance if you want that from us. Now, the audio part of this presentation is one way only. If you've got any questions, please type those into the question box on your meeting control panel. I'll do my best to answer those at the end. Also, at the end, I'll give you an update on the latest GoldMine product news to keep you up to date. And this call is being recorded. After the call, you will get a link to recording, and it will also be up on our YouTube channel as well very shortly after the call. So go to YouTube and do a search for Wizard Systems, and you'll find our GoldMine channel up there, full of other little training clips on different features around GoldMine. So just a quick mention about Wizard Systems. We're a leading supplier of GoldMine, and we do provide any kind of service around GoldMine, upgrades, add-ons to GoldMine, training. Obviously, during the current period, end of May 2020, we're still doing that. Obviously, online training wherever you are, and our help desk support is functioning as per normal, ready to answer any of your calls. Okay, the additional contact feature in GoldMine. So imagine the scenario: you have a new inquiry, or you've got a new client, and you of course start off with a key contact at that organization. So GoldMine would call that the primary contact, in inverted commas, the main person at that company. At this stage, you only know one person there. But what about, and you're dealing with, you're a B2B organization, you're dealing with other organizations. What about the situation where you now get a second contact, a third contact? What would be a procedure for recording that and handling that within the GoldMine application? Well, simply, the simplest way of doing that is with the additional contacts tab. There it is down there on the contact record tab. If you're not seeing it, by the way, you can click on the little down arrow on the left-hand side there and select it or deselect it from that list. But to create a second person at this company, I would just right-click in this area on the additional contact screen and select New. I would now type in the name of the additional contact, the full name of the additional contact. You can see there's extra fields for the email address for this person, maybe their direct dial phone number, maybe their mobile number. If you are sending emails to them, writing letters to them, you can auto-populate an email when you define an email template or a word template in GoldMine. You can include the salutation. If you are using that, it'd be good practice to include that there. You don't want it to be blank when sending out automatic emails to a contact. The title field is inheriting the same drop-down list of job titles that you have for the primary contact. So no difference there whatsoever. You can autofill the primary, the address fields with the primary address contact. So the same address that you got up there could automatically fill in that, or they may have a slightly different address. And then you've got a big notes box there also. When you're done, click OK. That second contact is recorded. You just repeat the process for as many contacts as you want to. There is no limit to the number of additional contacts here. So these are referred to as additional contacts. Think of them maybe as more miscellaneous contacts to the primary contact. But what about a situation, excuse me, what about a situation where the first person you got hold of is now no longer the main contact for that, for your dealings, your negotiations or whatever. And Mary down here actually is the key contact that you want to be focusing on. So quite simply, you can right click over that additional contact, and on the options, this little sub menu that's come up, under options, there's a swap with primary. So what that's going to do is just swap those two around. So I could just do that quickly, and there we are, very simply. Those two contacts have been changed around. Now notice that Mary, when I typed in her record, I didn't type in an email address. So you need to think here, if you're sending out emails to primary contacts, Mary is now the primary contact. What do you want to be the main contact or the main contact email for this particular person? So you would need to type that in there or select one of the existing email addresses just to clear out this little warning message here. It's not an error as such, but it's just alerting you to the fact that Mary is now a primary contact, and we don't have defined what is the default email address for Mary. Also, in this particular system, we have the importance of the dear field for Mary as well. So I would need to obviously include that in there as well to keep my records up to date. So there we are, a quick run through of additional contacts. Now, there are other ways of managing contacts at a company. There is the relationship tree. This is the next level beyond what I've just described here, the additional contacts feature. This is where we can have a more graphical view of a family tree, essentially, of all of the contacts at that organization. And when you click on those, they are complete records in their own right. So there's the ability here to store more information against all of the key contacts at a company, and then have a graphical view, a little family tree of the relationship of all of those contacts together. We'll cover this on another training session, the relationship tree. The focus this morning was on the additional contacts tab, which a majority, I know the GoldMine community out there, a majority of people do use it in that way to manage those additional contacts. So just think about the primary contact and the additional contacts and the swap with primary to adjust them if you feel it necessary. So what we do now, if you've attended previous sessions, is that I have a little Q&A session around this feature. If you've got any questions, please type those into the questions section on your meeting control panel. I'll do my best to answer those. So Joe is asking, when someone leaves a company, how would you record that? Well, on the basis that you probably wouldn't want to delete that person, because you never know when they might maybe pop up somewhere else in your dealings going forwards, you could, well, the first thing is, if they are a primary contact, then you may want to find out who is the replacement contact for them and maybe do something like the swap with primary I showed you. Or if they're already a secondary additional contact, a miscellaneous contact, Maybe you could use the reference field to just pop in there the fact that they've left the company. So you've still got a record of them against that company record, but they no longer work for that organization. So that might be a couple of ways there rather than deleting the contact, Joe. Pauline, in our business, we always need to know who are the three main job roles at a company, like who is the main purchasing contact? What's the best way? Right. So you could use, well, you could have a job role field. You can create custom fields in GoldMine. You have the job title field, of course, but maybe someone's job title doesn't allude to what their role is in the company or your relationship with that person. So they may be the IT director, but they may have some purchasing role with the services you're providing, not knowing what business you're importing. So that could be one way of having a job role field. There is also the merge code field against any contact record. You would have seen it on the additional contact I showed you. So that could be another way of developing some kind of codes for the job role of that person. So if it was purchasing, maybe you've got a little code called PUR, and you would have that against all of the people in your database that have a key purchasing role. Another way, you could create extra fields for these other people. So you would have fixed fields in your GoldMine database, and the field would be called like main purchasing contact, main engineering contact, something like that. So their name and their job title, perhaps. So there are a few ways of doing that, Pauline. I guess it depends. The best answer would depend on how you would intend to use these job roles. Are you mailing to these people? Is it just that you want to know who is the main purchasing contact, or are you intending to do regular mailings to the main purchasing contact? In which case, using the merge field would be better, because in the merge field you can put in that, my example, PUR, and with some mailing applications, when you go down through the mailing process, you'll be prompted for fine-tuning who are the people you want to send this mail to. For example, PUR, you're doing this mailing about a special offer, but you want to only highlight the purchasing contacts within an organization. So that's where you would use the email merge code field in GoldMine to facilitate that. So hopefully, Pauline, come back to us if that's if that doesn't completely answer your question there. Right, don't think any more questions have come through. Thanks to the two of you there. So latest news, obviously during current times, late May 2020, we're in still pandemic mode. We're still providing online training. If you want that on any topic around GoldMine, just contact us for any information on standard training courses or bespoke training for you wherever you are. The latest version of GoldMine, we're shortly expecting a 2020 version. It was due out in May. That's looking to be unlikely now, maybe more June. So just checking some extra things. It is in beta. It is in the last phase before going live. So stay tuned for that. There's the latest release, Hotfix 2 of 2019. And there will be in 2020 the big things and improvements on email security and two-factor authentication. So that's coming up in the latest GoldMine. So that's it for me this morning. Watch out for recording, or go up to our YouTube channel as well. There you are, Wizard Systems is our YouTube channel. You'll find it up there shortly, plus a whole host of other GoldMine videos in our GoldMine playlist, or watch out for an email from our system with links to recording. If you've got any suggestions for future sessions, any topic around GoldMine that's bugging you, or you want to know more about, and that would be of interest to the GoldMine community, please let me know. So my name again is Tim Wilmot, company Wizard Systems. Email tim@wizard-systems.com. Thanks very much for your attention, those listening live. If you're listening to recording, please contact us if you've got any other questions. We'll speak to you next week. Thanks very much indeed. Bye-bye.